just want to take a little moment here before we get into the video of the month, but just wanting to welcome you to the new format and also to let you know that there's a few things, a few changes going on here. What I want to introduce to you is the Tarot Weeklies and the Astro Weeklies. They will be coming out Sunday mornings at 8 a.m. That is Arizona time, so depending on where you live, you could always check that out real time. But this is because I'm thinking that I can reach all of you all at once through one video, right, and address all of you. And not only that, but when we listen to a monthly forecast, we might listen to it earlier, like the month prior, so that once we get into the month, it's all forgotten, right? And for that reason here, I'm thinking, you know, if we do a weekly, I can guide you a little bit more for what you can expect for the coming week, okay? It's going to sit more in mind so you can focus on it, use these tools to integrate into your consciousness of what can be expected. So the Astro Weeklies, we're going to be looking at a calendar. We're going to follow, too, also the moon positions. Now, in the monthly forecasts for the astrology, we don't do that because there would be way too many transits to look at. However, though, the moon is so important to us because it moves so quickly that it really regulates our mood swings, our reactions. Just like the sun radiates, the moon reflects, right? It reflects our emotions. So when we can do that, we can get a very close look at day to day what is coming up. So Sundays, 8 a.m., you'll have your Astro Weeklies, and then also for the Tarot, you will have a spiritual guidance. Then we're going to focus on what do we need to focus on this week, not necessarily what's coming up. The astrology will show that. But in the Tarot, yes, we're going to be looking at where are we in our mind, where can we grow our consciousness, what influences, major influences may be coming in, and how can we tackle them the best, right? So then you have something for your Sunday mornings, right? So look to the end for more information, and of course, for those of you who are subscribers, you'll already get them into your inbox. For those of you who haven't subscribed, you might want to subscribe here. Just click the button, and I just want to also mention that if you're not seeing it coming up in your inbox, check your spam box. Sometimes YouTube just sends it directly there, all right? So, and then just unspam it, so you'll have it in your inbox there in the mornings. So listen, we are going to check on what's coming up for you now in September. All right, Capricorn, so let's see what is coming up for you now in September. Let me just start out with asking you this question. What is going on? All right? When I ask that, it's because I'm seeing here as you're coming out of August, there might be a to-do situation, all right? And you're not quite sure what to do about it. It's like you're feeling a little bound, a little locked in by circumstances in a situation. So it's not really you. It is more like, what do I do with this circumstance? So there's something there out and about around you. The best you can do is just try to tackle it with the information that you get at hand, and it shall pass, all right? And it shall pass relatively quickly. I'm feeling it's so on top of the month that I feel it's probably coming in more so for you at the very, very end, the last few days there of August. But then, as you start out here in September, you are pretty strong, very powerful, taking on the reins now of your vehicle of life and heading towards that goal that you have set for yourself. Nobody's better than you, Capricorn. When you first decide to do something, just like the Tauruses, right, you do it. And that is your strength, and you don't give up before you achieve that level. So right now, it's more like, well, I really want to get above. You're looking for a level above of where you're at. Not saying you're not doing good right here, right now, because actually you are. But you know there's more to it. This is more so like pointing towards your financials. And yes, it's good. But there is more in you that you know can come back to you and value or evaluate your sense of values, inner self. that was a lot of value. That's my bilingual, all right? Sometimes I don't really always find the right words. But you know you're worth more, and I think that is what is really streamlining this intention. So we talked about intentions. Of course, astrologically, we have that solar eclipse on the 1st, right, which is also a new moon, so that's also intentions. So maybe that is what this is all about, where you can take the power of that inner urge that which is driving you right now and say, you know what, I am going to rise above. And once you do, and you're confident about it, then you're placing all other thoughts aside, your doubts and that inner self-chatter, which doesn't really bring you up. It kind of like talks you down. Away with it, because after this intention is set, I see that inner chatter turning towards you being your own, what should I say, cheering yourself up and forward. And in that, my goodness, guys, there is inspiration, there's strength, there's balance, there's choices, there's separation. When I say separation, it's a separation from that old, which you have now completed, and bringing in all the new, that new vision, which also means, of course, new thoughts. New thoughts bring in new action, right? So there's this whole shift of consciousness taking place for you. You will feel it before the first 2 weeks are over in September. This is the time that you have the energy to actually create that shift of consciousness. Find that balance. Really connect now to what you've been dreaming about in your own foundation. And as that starts lifting, well, then you have a whole lot more to work with. And this is what you like, because you like the drive of life, right? Of course you like the luxury, you like the easy things too, like people most, but not when it comes to you and your goals. You will work and put in the effort to get where you want to go, and try to have anybody try to stop you, right? So this is a month where the motors are up and running and you're kicking into gear. You're feeling that you are now back on the road again. And I think, yes, even though you have the ability to be patient, over time when things are processing and whatnot, you're really good with that when it comes to patience. But I'm feeling right now, when things are picking up speed, this is when you're going to feel at the best. Why? Because now you're heading towards accomplishment. And it's that accomplishment here, Capricorn, which is bringing you to the creativity that you hold, which is coming out. Now there's a man who could be very supportive of you here this month. He's a earth sign, okay? He is somebody who manages monies, securities, and so forth. At least it's somebody that you trust with your values, whether it's external values or inner values. There might even be a little surprise connected to it. Now there could be a little weekend getaway. This pertains to either a girlfriend, a sister, a mother, whoever it may be for you. But it's more like just maybe a day trip, maybe a weekend trip. But I'm seeing that there's a lot of beautiful energy shared in your relationship now at this time. Again, your finances, it kind of ties in here with what I'm seeing here as well. So I'm not going to repeat that and waste time for it. But it is you really trying to figure it out, to streamline it. What can you cut back so you can bring more money up to the forefront? And I'm feeling between now and maybe the end of the year, that would be the end of this process that you're starting right now. So it's going to take a little time. It's not all going to fall into place here now this month. Then we have somebody at work, or somebody who represents a person at work. So it could be a coworker, it could be a supervisor, it might be your employer. But here, and even if it's outside of your career, it could be a goal that you're working on, okay? Because that's also what this placement is about, what you're working at, right? There's a man here now that's going to present something to you. I feel he's quite creative. He is very I'd like to say laid back in one sense. Then in another sense, he's just extremely open. It looks like he loves music. He likes to find things in life. He's a good listener. But then he's had a project that he's been working on for a while that he has a certain vision for, but he'd like you to be a part of it. So if you have the time, if you can see that that could fit into your daily, monthly routine, then this person does really have something that could come to behoove you in the long run. So at least some talks, negotiation, and so forth will be coming from it. Shifting gears, still talking about men. Now, the first one here that I just mentioned, he is a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. He's got a lot of water, but don't get stuck in the sun sign because it could just be the way he emits his energy. Somebody who is caring, somebody who is creative, somebody who is a great listener, and somebody who's romantic. This second person, the one I'm talking about right now, he comes from the mind. He's very intellectual. He may not be that touchy-feely type person or creative in that sense, but he is around you in the circle of acquaintances, and he's going to be important too. So he's got an agenda, and somehow you're tying into the agenda, whether you like it or don't, but I guess that's his agenda to figure out whether you do or not. Or you can be supportive to what he wants. And it's his goals this is all about, and you're kind of like here. If you feel it's right, if it resonates with you, then sure, you'll get your support. If you're kind of like, nah, well, then listen to it as well. But he's coming to you because he would like your support. So he's not really offering. The first one is offering. This one here is more just wanting to get an entourage alongside with him. When we're heading towards the end of September here at Capricorn, we got strength. This is you looking at in reverse, you know, to the beginning of the month. And I always like to do that because we should always, every night when we go to bed, we should review the day that we have lived, right? What did we do? Did we get it right? What could we have changed? Review is always very important. And then, you know, at the end of the week, before a new week, it's important, and the end of the month, and of course the end of the year. So when I'm looking at the end of the month for you here, Capricorn, there is you looking at, wow, okay, there's strength. I did ground something. I made the choices I needed to make. You're feeling that, when I say I mean you, of course, right? So, and then you're feeling that you got things straight. Not just straight, but kind of lined up, but you're still waiting. There's something you're anticipating. That's not coming to you quite yet here in September. So as you leave this month, you've opened the door for several things, but you're kind of waiting now for some more feedback to come in. So that should be exciting when we get into October to see if it's going to take place for you next month. But you're building something substantial, and that is always good. So Capricorn, this is what we have here now for September. Do join us here on Sundays for Tarot Weekly and the Astro Weekly. Do subscribe. Check your inbox there for the YouTubes. If you don't see it, check your spam box. I did say that up front in the video too, just because it happens that they come in there, right? So listen, I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye now.